Yo, what's up, team? Or table, whatever table you're on. I just wanted to really, this is a message of action, right? What is action? Like for me to take a step, to get over there, I got to move forward, see? Like the action of me moving forward is what got me to the position I just wanted to go to, which was like 5 simple steps. And so I've been studying these tables, right? This left table and this right table. And I don't really know if we could even call it that. It's like more like a left personality and a right personality. And one thing I figured out is how these people run stuff. So you have the left, right? And you have the right. And both of them, let's go through this equation. Both of them have the ability now, due to polarization, to have privacy invasion. So the first variable to both tables that they both hold at the same time is privacy invasion. Here's the second variable. Privacy invasion equals view. Because of the privacy invasion, we have a view on other people's personal lives, right? And then the third variable is view equals information, because if you have a privacy invasion to the view of somebody's personal life, now you have the information of what they do in secret chambers and hidden rooms, in the closet, for example. And here comes the fourth variable, question mark. So privacy invasion equals view equals information equals a question mark. And then the question mark gives you the equation solving answer, which is heart. All these 4 variables show the heart of the table. So privacy invasion equaling rule equaling view equaling information equaling question mark will show you the answer, which is in the heart of the table, right? And so I broke down the enemy's defense, right? And they have a 4-7 or offense. They have a 4-7 offense. They don't really have much of a defense, right? They come at you. So they have a 4-7 offense, and the reason why I call it a 4-7 is because I judge things fairly. These people have 4 superpowers. That's why they're so effective. And then they have 7 minor powers. So you have 7 minor power and 4 superpowers. And we're going to break it down. And they have a black heart, right? And so this team, they run off of no individual judgment, right? That's one of their minor powers. The reason why they're effective is because they don't have a personal judgment system. Their eyes are not on themselves first. They're on other people first. They have little conviction. So the reason why they can push so much stuff is because they don't feel bad for it, right? So they have little conviction. And it's a poking mentality. They want to poke you, right? So if you're full of joy, full of love, full of peace, full of confidence, this team will deliberately pin poke you. Not to fully drain you, but they want to pin poke you so they can manipulate to the certain amount of feeling they want you to be filled with, right? Let's say you're filled at 100% and their table doesn't like that. They're going to say, poke him down and keep him at the 30% full mark, because then you never reach your full potential, but you reach their full manipulation, right? And then you have cutthroat. They're very cutthroat. They'll cut my throat and they'll cut their own team's throat without hesitation. And then there's no filter. This table is very rated R and TVMA, which is pretty much they can go from Little House to the Prairie to a porno in the snap of a finger. And they don't care. They broadcast it, right? And then here's their superpowers. Actually, they got one more. They're lovers of evil, right? Lovers of evil. So they love doing what they do because of no conviction and stuff. Here's their 4 superpowers. This team is very, very well organized. Superpower number 2, they are super pushers of all their script and circulation of the information. They push it super well, dude. And they never stop. And here's their 3rd superpower. They take orders and they bow down. So they take orders and they bow down. Here's their 4th superpower. They're takers with very little giving attributes, right? That's why they're so cutthroat. And that's why they'll always rob the whole seat, okay? And so they run a 4-7 offense. And now we're going to go through the other table, which also is the same thing. So we showed their heart is a very black heart, right? With a little bit of light. And then we're going to show you the heart of a lot of light and a little bit of black. So this is a privacy invasion equals view equals information equals question mark. Now I'll reveal the heart on the righteous side. So This side is, we run a 5-7 defense. No, a 5-7 offense, and we have a defense though. We have something that they don't have, right? And it's a special team's virtue. And we'll get down to that. And that's why we're PG-13. And we need to start being more PG-13. So we have a 5-7 offense. And so we have 5 superpowers and 7 minor powers. So let's go through our minor powers. We naturally like to build people up because we put them higher than us. We always have the benefit of the doubt, right? So we're building others up. We're PG-13, meaning our conviction keeps us in line to where we're not like out of line. We're not taking anybody in the closet. We're not taking anybody in the car. We're not doing anything wickedly unnatural, right? We're self-professional, right? Or we're soft professionals, right? So we can be a shark, but we can be soft. We can be a tiger, but a kid can pet us. Like we can be in those zones, but we're not biting people, right? We can hold it back. We can tame it. We can be like, no, thank you, you know? And then you have turn the other cheek. We like to turn the other cheek. We're more not cutthroat. Somebody will hit us, we'll just turn the other cheek, and we'll walk away, right? We'll go the extra mile. We'll give them a jacket. Family values. We care about family. Teaching our kids, we care about what they see. And this is going to tie into our family, our special team's virtue that we have and hold, right? We out-honor each other. See, this team, there's an out-honoring system where you try to out-honor one another, right? You want to promote that good energy, and you want to outdo each other. And they do the same thing, right? If you want to out-honor each other in honor, they want to out-honor each other in evil, right? That's just how this thing works. And here is our 5 superpowers. We are self-medicated. What's that mean? We self-diagnose. We're self-aware. We self-medicate our own problems. Our eyes can see if we're being prideful, if we're being negative, if we're being egotistical, if we're being wicked. So we're more of a self-medicated team. We try to self-fix and self-diagnose our problems, which is a very good thing on this side. We have higher conviction rates. The spirit that God given us, the consciousness, you would say, of right and wrong, we have a higher conviction in everything we do. That's why you can be self-medicated. You can't be self-medicated. You can't be PG-13. You can't be soft. You can't turn the other cheek. You can't be any of those values if you are not walking in a higher conviction rate. It just won't work, right? And so we're separate. You can tell us apart from the world, right? These people have a glow about them. They have this uniqueness. They have a special attribute. They don't just fit in with 2,000 people. If they were in that 2,000 people, you would know that person's different. They're separate, right? And here's another one. Iron sharpens iron mentality. These people don't beat each other up or stab each other in the back. They professionally help one another in a loving way. Iron sharpening more iron. And here's another one. They are lovers of good. These people want to see good. They want to be good. They want to promote good. Their heart, if you notice your heart on this side always wants to see things that you never see come to pass, guess what? That's why you're on this side, right? And here is our special team's virtue, guys. It's called the Noah white blanket play. Now let me share a little story of Genesis. Noah just got done flooding the whole earth, or God did. Noah just got done getting off the boat on Mount Ararat, and he grew a vineyard because he's probably so depressed because all those people died. He tried to tell them the truth the whole time, 120 years, and guess what? Noah had to go tell them something, right? And so I have a Jeep parked over here. Who knows what they're up to? I got to show it, guys, because there's a weird worldly thing going on right here. And so when someone parks in a very isolated location, I have an information scale of the left and right? And so I'm prepared to put myself in the gap. So if I'm prepared to teach my team, I'm also prepared for their team to be like, hey, go send a decoy his way. And because whatever they do, they want to put their curriculum right in front of us. And then it ends up being a war, right? And their stuff is extremely sexual. And so they always play that card, if you guys haven't caught on to it yet. If, but anyways, it's called the Noah white blanket team. So let's say that car over there, right? let's say that he brought his girlfriend over there and he's banging her, or some infidelity act is going on or something, and that's what's going on in that car, right? What is our special play right now? Am I gonna go invade privacy and go watch them and go, ooh, yeah, you know, and just turn it into something? No. Here's what the white blanket moment is. See, Noah got drunk, right? And Noah fell asleep naked in his tent. And he had these 3 sons. And one son went to his father's tent and he saw his father's nakedness. And he made a joke about it, and he just did the most negative thing. He was on the wrong table, right? And then he went to go tell his 2 brothers. And then the 2 brothers brought a blanket with them. And then they walked backwards. Like if Noah's naked right there, they walked backwards with the blanket. And then they covered their dad without seeing his nakedness. So if that car was doing what I said, right, we would, if we had to approach them on our side, we'd walk like this with the blanket. And we would be PG-13, right? That's what we need to start doing, because a lot of us have inherited the Black Heart curriculum, and that's not even who you were called to be, dude. And it's just not. And so that's how I see this offense and defense right here. And so, and these guys aren't going to give up. These evil people, they are straight wicked, man. And so this is what has to be done. We have to just push our offense, you know, like Joshua Allen, how he tore up the Chiefs, dude. You know, they had momentum. They had this momentum about them, and they pushed and pushed and pushed, bro. And so I just wanted to share this with you guys, not to beat down your neck or anything, because see, life is hard. But now we have a plan of action. We have an offense and a defense. We're making it fun, right? So if they're like a quarterback, right? I'm a quarterback. Blue 42. There's somebody parked out there isolated. I can be like, sexual deviancy. And then I check my wide receivers, and I'm like pointing to it, sexual deviancy. And he's like, I got you, quarterback. And running back, tap the thing right there. You got somebody coming to try to tempt you right there around the corner. So you got to dodge that bullet. Blue 42, right? And then you say hike. And then you see the offense, and you're like, whoa. And you see the defense, and you got to guide your receivers. And once you see them get through a pocket, right? They made it through that evil satanic pocket. Boom, you throw it to them. And you just move forward. You went from the 40-yard line to the opponent's 20 with that pass. You know why? Because you were operating correctly and you took action, right? And it's a quarterback's job to see the field and help his receivers, help his linemen, help his running back, you know? Everyone else is too busy spitting loogies right now. That's their whole mission, right? And so we're trying to build a whole new offense for the next generation, right? And so that's what all this stuff is. You got to call it out. You got to call it out. Orgy on 17th. You got this going on here. You got to tell your teammates what's going on. You got TVMA, and you call it audible, right? That means put on your white blanket. You know, you got a secret play if it gets too rowdy and sexual. White blanket on 3, white blanket, audible white blanket. And then you guys know, oh shoot, it's porno mode. We got to walk backwards, right? And so that's what you got to do, right? You got to get in the game, right? White blanket, tap on the head. White blanket. You know, and that's what we got to do in this situation on the field, right? In the field. Especially when the leaves are falling, you can see all the trees. And the best thing we got to do about this, guys, is play and have fun doing it with no judgment. See, we got to learn to not really come at them in a judging way or poking way like they do us. You know, that pop, right? And so that's what we have to do in this way. You got to call the play. If you're a quarterback, be a quarterback. Maybe help your team out. Call out white blanket. You know, shout out, you know, whatever attribute. You know, you have your superpowers. You know, we can run a play like, you know, like separate on 3. You know, you got to tell them what to do and stuff. And so I hope this video helped you guys. I tried to put a little NFL in it because last night I got to watch the Bills game, and it was the first football game I've ever got into energy-wise in like 7 years. I have not been able to get in football at all. It was like, ugh. But last night I got into the Joshua Allen and Chiefs game. I think it was last night. No, it was Sunday. Yeah, it was Sunday night. And so, yeah, I got into that game. It was cool. And it was beautiful. So God bless you guys. If you want to leave a message, and I can send you a picture of this curriculum. It's not so you can follow my stuff. Maybe you can make your own playbook of where you're at. You know, like Bobby Boucher, that coach started making plays at the end of the movie because he was afraid of Donald Trump. And then so at the end of the movie, he found his cojones again, and he actually started writing plays out, and he was able to make some plays. And then the other coach started getting freaked out, dude. And he's like, and then he tried attacking Bobby Boucher's background, his education, and started doing this, Coach Boo You or whatever. And so, that's why you got to make a playbook. You got to make a play for your situation, And remember, the key virtue, dude, is that white blanket. That's what separates us from them and us, right? God bless you guys. I hope you like this message. Talk to you later.